Hello, Dayton Realtors. With us today, we have Brian Sharp. Brian is one of the trustees of the Dayton REALTORS Foundation. The foundation has undergone significant changes over this last year, and Brian's going to answer some of the questions in terms of the direction that we're now going in. Brian, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Brian, the foundation's gone through significant changes over the last year. Do you want to talk about some of those changes and why some of those changes were?
Absolutely. You know, as you are aware, the foundation was traditionally part of Dayton REALTORS Board of Directors, and we would sit in what sometimes was a lengthy board meeting, depending on the subjects at hand, and then that meeting would end, and we would have to start the foundation meeting. And we were already 2 hours in at that point, and so the foundation kind of became an afterthought, sadly, for what was going on. And when Greg Blatt was president, he asked a group to reassemble the foundation and help it form its own board of trustees, drive the focus, manage some changes, and that's kind of what brought us to today.
Great. Who are the trustees today?
So the president of the board of trustees is Steve Brown. Greg Blatt is the vice president. The treasurer is Karen Hulsman. Secretary is Lisa Harlan, and members at large are Ralph Mantica and myself.
Great. What sort of things is the foundation going to support going forward?
So in the transition year, last year, we decided as a group of trustees to kind of continue supporting what the board had supported previously, things like Close That Work, for example. So none of that changed in the last year. Going forward, you know, realtors are known for our acronyms, so we're operating from home. So things that are focused on housing, things that are focused on outreach, things that are focused on member support and benevolence, and then education. And what we learned in looking back at the history of the Dayton REALTORS Foundation, and specifically the golf outing, which has funded a lot for the foundation in the past, that was really driven in its peak by its focus on partners in education. So education is still a big piece of that.
Great. Are there any projects being supported now by the foundation?
So we did a survey late last year of the membership, and education again came up. So we're working with Tiffany Lobertini, and she's been hired to take the NAR's financial literacy program out into our schools. So she's already working with local schools. She's working with local realtors who are she's kind of a train the trainer. So she's got those realtors on board to learn how to train this program, and they're gonna go out into schools enhancing financial literacy in some of our underserved areas.
Great. How is the foundation gonna generate funds?
So there are a number of ways. We mentioned the golf outing, and that's certainly been a large fundraiser. Though over the past few years, even the golf outing committee can tell you it's probably half of or a fourth of what it used to be. So we would love to see more realtors engaged and not just affiliates in that event. They do a great job organizing that event, and so that's a huge fundraiser. Probably the least known way that we receive funds is when the realtors' bills go out. There's a little line that says support of the foundation. You can always increase that. You can add to it. You can do it more than once, but that's another way. And so right now the foundation's sitting on about $100,000 in the bank in investments that are protected, and some of those are restricted funds. There's a couple scholarships that are restricted, but otherwise there's a great base. And with this new focus of home, we have energized the efforts to be able to raise funds differently, go out into our community, find ways. But those two, primarily from a realtor's perspective, are the ways that we raise money.
So talking about going out into the community, is the foundation going to be made up solely of realtors?
No, the way the board is set up, there will be the ability to have outside board of trustees members, two of those specifically. So we are still searching, looking for board members to help round out that group. The core group that was assembled first was really set up to establish the Code of Regulations and all of those guidelines and things like committees. So there is a grants review panel that's been set up. I'm chairing that committee. There's a financial committee. Karen Hulsman chairs that. And so I'm looking forward to establishing the guidelines with the grants review committee for how grants will be requested and how that approval process will go through. And then of course, once that panel is done or that committee is done reviewing those will go to the General Board of Trustees for that.
How can members get involved?
So there's a number of ways. If they have interest in foundation work, certainly if they have experience with foundation work, they can express interest to one of the trustees, bubble that up. But we have just formed a marketing committee because just like this video, I think our realtor community needs to know more about the foundation and what we're doing and how we're getting that message out. So there is a marketing committee that Greg Blatt is chairing. And so if there are people, and we're all marketers because we're all realtors, we're selling every day, if they would like to get involved and be part of that marketing committee, reach out to Jennifer Zeller, reach out to Greg Blatt, reach out to one of the trustees, and we'll make sure they're heard.
Great. Brian, we're super excited with this new direction, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.